From Gru secretly being part werewolf to the minions possibly being failed human experiments, today we're breaking down 10 Despicable Me theories that change everything. But first, if you love the minions, drop a banana emoji. And if you're a fan of Gru, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Why is Gru's nose so long? Have you ever noticed Gru's nose has always been unusually long, even as a kid? Most people assume it's just cartoon shorthand. Long nose, hunched shoulders, dark coat, classic villain design, nothing deeper. But here's a theory that makes it mean something. Gru wasn't just some guy who chose villainy. He was born into one of the most infamous villain families in the world. His father was a legendary criminal, and Gru spent his entire childhood trying to live up to that. So what if the nose is hereditary? Not a joke, not a design quirk, a physical marker of the bloodline, a trait passed down through generations of villains, the same way a family passes down a surname, which would mean Gru was carrying his family's expectations on his face from the day he was born. He couldn't have escaped that legacy if he tried, because he was wearing it. Illumination has never confirmed any of this, but it's a very different way to look at that design. So, is Gru's nose just a funny cartoon choice, or is it part of the family legacy? Share your theory in the comments. Number 2, is Gru part werewolf? And if we're talking about what Gru inherited, this is where it gets genuinely strange. Start with the family tree. There's a scene where Gru's entire lineage is displayed on the wall, and if you look closely at one of his ancestors, it isn't a person, it's a werewolf. At first, that reads as a throwaway gag. Then the first movie undercuts it completely, because when Gru steals the moon, actual werewolves appear in the world below, which means werewolves aren't a myth in this universe, they're real. So that family tree wasn't a joke, it was a record. Now, the obvious objection, why doesn't Gru transform under a full moon? Because the werewolf sits several generations up the tree. He isn't a werewolf, he's a descendant of one, enough to carry the traits, not enough to change. And suddenly the thing nobody talks about makes sense. Gru performs feats no human should survive. He dodges heat-seeking missiles. He punches a leaping shark back into the water with one hit. And critically, he does all of it without any of his technology. That's not gadgetry, that's biology, which would make Gru quietly one of the most dangerous characters in animation. Number 3. 5 things you missed in Despicable Me 3. 5 details hiding in plain sight. The escape aircraft. When the minions break out of prison, look at their DIY aircraft. It's the exact same design as the toy Gru gave to Mel earlier, the Sing poster. While the minions are running around the streets, there's a poster for Sing in the background, another Illumination film. Mr. Bean's Teddy. During their prison stint, the minions collect valuables from other inmates. One of the things they stash is a teddy bear that looks exactly like Teddy from Mr. Bean. The Grinch shirt. Margot wears a shirt with the Grinch on it, foreshadowing Illumination's very next movie. The sleeping pods. The minions each have their own pod for sleeping. Scan the rows and you'll find one pod with 2 minions in it, one looking shocked, the other looking like he's having the time of his life. Number 4. Was Valerie Da Vinci working for Bratt? Despicable Me 3 has a hole in it, and this theory fills it perfectly. Start with how it begins. Silas Ramsbottom retires under suspicious circumstances and hands his position straight to Valerie, a woman he specifically describes as very ambitious, someone who climbed the ranks fast. Her very first act is to go after Gru, and Lucy, the agent who very nearly caught Balthazar Bratt, gets fired too for defending him. Gru is dismissed for incompetence despite other agents being right there during the same heist.
You're fired!
Then Valerie vanishes from the story entirely. Now, here's the part that doesn't add up. Right after Gru gets fired, Bratt steals the diamond, and he makes a point of mentioning that it's a shame Gru won't be around to stop him.
Too late again, Gru!
How does a supervillain know that a secret agent was fired from a secret organization? Somebody told him. And the movie quietly points at the one person who had that information and had just cleared the 2 best agents out of his way. And then she's never seen again. She never returns, never apologizes, never gives Gru his job back. They built her up as a character and then dropped her completely, probably because the full plot was too complicated for a kid's film. Number 5. Nobody in Despicable Me ages. Have you ever noticed the girls never grow up? Or the minions? Or Gru? It isn't sloppy animation. The directors have actually confirmed it. In the Despicable Me universe, none of the characters age. They'll stay exactly as they are for the rest of the series. And a lot of fans hate this decision for one very good reason. We've seen Gru as a child. There's an entire movie built around him as a kid. So if nobody ages, how did that boy become this man? The rule contradicts the franchise's own timeline. Either time passes or it doesn't. And Despicable Me wants it both ways. What do you think? Did they get this one wrong? Let me know in the comments. Number 6. 5 facts about Despicable Me. 5 behind-the-scenes facts. The Sleepy Kittens book is real. You can actually buy it as a tie-in. The only difference is the real one doesn't come with a hairbrush like the version in the film. Minionese is a real language. The directors built an actual functioning language for the minions, and every sound you hear has a genuine translation behind it. The Swan Lake ticket. Look at the numbers printed on Gru's ticket. They match the date of the first moon landing. In a movie about stealing the moon, Agnes's laugh was real. Elsie Fisher struggled to produce a genuine laugh on cue, so her father had to sneak up behind her and tickle her while they were recording. Gru insults Miss Hattie to her face. During the orphanage interview, he compliments her hair in another language, and what he actually says translates to like a donkey.
Como un burro.
Number 7. Who is Poppy? Poppy is the newest character joining the franchise, and the theories are already getting wild. Here's what the trailer gives us. She's a huge fan of Gru who wants to become a villain exactly like him. What it doesn't give us is where she came from, and that gap is doing a lot of work. Theory 1. She's related to Lucy. Put them side by side. Similar facial structure and the same hair. If Poppy turns out to be family, that reframes her obsession with Gru entirely. She wouldn't be chasing an idol, she'd be chasing a relative. Theory 2. She's Vector's secret daughter, and this one has a motive attached. Remember where Vector ends up at the close of the first movie? Stranded on the moon with no way home. If Poppy is his daughter, then getting close to Gru isn't admiration at all. It's the only route she has to the one man who could bring her father back. Two very different girls depending on which one is true. But there's a third theory, and it's the darkest of the lot. Number 8. Was Poppy in the first movie? Go back to Despicable Me, to the orphanage. There's a scene where you can spot a girl peeking out of the box of shame. One of the kids being punished while Gru is there choosing which children to take home. Now, that doesn't sound like much on its own, but watch it again knowing Poppy exists, because there's a real chance that girl is Poppy, which changes everything about her. She wouldn't be a fan at all. She'd be a child who watched Gru walk into that building, look around, pick 3 other girls, and leave without her, and then spent years watching him become a beloved hero and a devoted father to somebody else. So the theory goes that Poppy isn't joining the story as an admirer. She's the villain of this movie, and she's coming for revenge on the man who didn't choose her, which honestly might be the saddest villain motivation this franchise has ever had. Number 9. The Despicable Me 4. We never got most people agree the 4th movie wasn't the franchise's strongest, but the original plot would have been something else entirely. According to the film's writer, the story was going to bring back Gru's old enemies for a full revenge arc. Maxime Lamal would break a group of supervillains out of prison and assemble them into a team, and that team would have included Gru's most notable enemies, El Macho, Balthazar Bratt, Vector, and they'd have carried the entire 3rd act. That's a villain team-up movie. That's the ending fans had been waiting 4 films for. The studio scrapped it completely, but watch the very end of what we actually got, and you'll notice something. Every villain in the franchise turns up for the final scene, including Scarlet Overkill and even the Vicious Six. The idea never fully died. It just got demoted to a cameo. Number 10. Are the minions failed human experiments? And here's the theory that ruins the minions forever. We think of them as harmless yellow creatures who love bananas and chaos, but where did they actually come from? The Minions movie tells us they've existed since the beginning of time, and as we covered earlier, they've never aged a day. That's already strange for a species with no origin story. Then Despicable Me 2 introduces the PX41 serum, the purple chemical that mutates minions into monsters. Sit with that for a second. A serum exists that modifies them. You can't reformulate something that was born. You can only do that to something that was made. So here's the creepy part. What if the minions were originally human, victims of failed experiments to build loyal super soldiers? Look at what they actually are. Unusually short, almost impossible to injure, incapable of independent purpose, and driven by an overwhelming need to serve whoever's in charge. That isn't evolution. That reads like design specifications. And it goes further. Gyaru worked for the Anti-Villain League. So what if he didn't find the minions at all? What if he took them from a government lab? That would explain why he treats them like equipment and why they're so absolutely, unquestioningly loyal to him. Now go look at Gru's lair one more time. There are entire factory lines of minions down there. Rows and rows of identical bodies. Not a community, a production run, which means the real villain of this franchise was never Gru. It's whoever built them in the first place, and nobody has ever gone looking. And that's it? Which one surprised you the most? A theory or a tiny detail? Let me know in the comments. If you want the next part, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed, because we're uncovering even more secrets next time.